record from. All right, here we go. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Be Positive, Stay Positive podcast. My name is Nat, and I'm here for you. I am here for you to cheer you up and hopefully help you find those keys to the door that will unlock your happiness. And today I want to talk about what comes next after your kids start journeying into adulthood. I'm dealing with that, and I'm going to speak from the heart about this. But first, I want to remind you about my two books, The Positive Perspective and Awaken Your Positivity, available on Amazon, or you can get them from my website, bepositivepodcast.com. You can also order a personalized copy there. I love that, and you guys are really stepping it up and picking up some books, and it helps me keep this show going. And don't forget about the website, bepositivepodcast.com. And if you want to talk to me, or you got something you want me to talk about, or you have a topic or something you want me to discuss or talk about on the show, hit me up on the text line 304-506-3332. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, and share. Hit the bell icon, do all that good stuff. You know the drill, right? All right, so what am I going to talk about today? What comes next in your kids' journey to adulthood? Well, there's a lot of things that we have to deal with as parents when our kids become adults. And the best thing is when they do become functioning adults and they're good people, and you know you did a good job, you're very, very proud and to set them on their way. But there's also that empty nest syndrome, that feeling of I'm losing my child, I'm losing my friend, I'm losing my pal that I hang out with. And so there's a lot that us as parents have to deal with, and also what the kids have to deal with becoming adults. So I want to talk about a couple of different things to help you get through your child growing up. The first one is emotional growth. I mean, our kids grow, we all grow emotionally over time, and we have to validate our children as they're growing up to build their confidence. And once you do that, they get that confidence and they grow up and they become functioning adults and become phenomenal young adults, and you're so proud of them. But then on the other hand, you have to set them free. You've got to let go of all those things that were part of growing up. So as a parent, you have to learn to manage those emotions. You have to be resilient. You have to understand that they are growing as adults. So you have to grow as an adult, as a parent, and give them the space to be to become the adult they want to do, and without the guilt trips. And it's very hard to do. Trust me, I'm speaking from the heart. The next one is practical life skills. Now, if you've raised a good child and you've been a good parent and you've been attentive and you've been there for them and you've taught them things like money management, cooking things, time management, you've taught them to be responsible and all that stuff, and they do all that, then you've done your job. And it's okay to let them go, let them leave the nest. If you've taught them how to be independent thinkers, if you've taught them to do good in school, and they are doing good, and all this stuff that we want our kids to be, and once they do that, they're ready to be adults. But it's hard to let them go, but you have to do that. And that's something that you as an individual have to come to terms with, because your parents did it for you too, right? The next thing I want to talk about is there is social awareness, because your kid, who is now a young adult, has relationships. They have different ideas of life. They think differently than you do. If they don't think differently than you do, then you didn't do a good job of parenting, because they're not individual thinkers. Now, I know my daughter has her own takes on everything, and we don't agree on some stuff, but it's still my daughter. I'm still her dad, and we still get along great. So because of that communication, and because I'm compassionate and empathetic to her feelings, and I'm understanding of her desires. And once you do that, you you create a quality human being. And that's what our job is as parents, to create a quality human being. And as a young child going into adulthood, it's your obligation to also understand that it's not easy for your parents to let go of you. So and there's peer pressure that they deal with, but if you taught them well, they are strong enough to think for themselves, and they will prevail. Um, Also, when just think back to when you were a kid becoming an adult, when you were leaving the nest, when you were going off to college or going off to trade school, or going off to and you moved out of your house, and you felt like, yes, I'm on my own, and you felt like Superman or Superwoman, Wonder Woman, whatever it is, and you felt like, I've accomplished this, I'm finally out of the house, I'm doing my own thing, and it is totally cool. And I remember that feeling, going to college, being on my own. Even though there was times in college I missed my family, it was so cool becoming an independent person to where I could make my own decisions. Now, I think that's half of the reason I became the person I am is because my mom gave me that freedom. Even though it broke her heart when I left, I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. But when you have a child that's on the verge of leaving your nest, or you've already had a child that's left the house, don't be sad. Be happy that you've created a human being that can fend for themselves, that are independent thinkers, that are good people, good human beings, because we need more of those in the world. Trust me, you know? And understand that it's not about your feelings at this point. It's about their growth, because it's exciting for them. They're starting their life. They're starting their journey into life. They're growing into themselves. And stepping back and looking at it from their perspective, the only way to do that is to remember what it felt like when you got out of your house, when you became independent, when you got to make your own decisions without having to answer to anyone else but yourself, and how good that felt. And that will help you to deal with your child or your young adult leaving your house. And the shift, I'm going to talk about the shift that happens, because right now I'm experiencing this shift. I'm shifting away from parent to advisor. It's a role shift to a friend. I'm not the director of the show anymore. I'm now an advisor. And there's a really, really tightrope walking balance that you have to do between letting go but staying connected. And what do I mean by that? You have to let go and give them that chance to experience the individuality that you got to experience, the freedom that you got to experience, the growing up and individuality that you got to experience as a young adult, when your parents had to accept the fact that you were moving out. And you give them that freedom, even though it breaks your heart. You do it. You let them go, but you still stay connected. And that's the hardest part, is trying to still be a parent, but give them the freedom to be the individual that you wanted them to be. Because think about it. The ultimate thing, you wanted them, you had a child to create a good human being, and you want them to be a functioning adult in society that is a good person through and through. And if you did that, bravo. And if you're proud of your child, bravo, you did a good job. Now let them live their life and enjoy their life without the guilt trips. And that's the hardest part, I'm telling you right now. But you can do it, trust me. We'll do it together. If you have kids, text me on the text line 304-506-3332 and let me know if you're going through the same thing or have gone through it, and how you dealt with it, because I could use a little help in this situation right now, because my daughter's in her sophomore year of college and she's still at home, but it's not going to be much longer. But I could really use a little guidance from you guys for a change. How about that? All right. And with that, I'm out of words. I got nothing else to say. That's about all I have to talk about. I do want to remind you about my 2 books, The Positive Perspective and Awaken Your Positivity. Please grab a copy today on Amazon, or you can get it through my website, bepositivepodcast.com. You can get personalized copies there. You can get merchandise there. There's new stuff coming up, new shirts, new stickers, some cool new looking decals and mugs, all kind of tumblers and all kind of stuff. So hit the website up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video everywhere you can. My name is Nat. This has been the Be Positive, Stay Positive podcast. I think we can all do a little bit better. I'll talk to you later.